Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Time to react to my early season predictions. Before the start of the season, I made my predictions for everything in terms of how many goals you're going to score, who was going to be a top scorer, and everything like that. So, time to react. So, what you're going to do is I'm going to play the clip and then react to it, play the clip and react to it. And there's some stupid predictions in there, but there's some really good ones. I'm actually so happy that some of them are pretty accurate. So let me know how you think I did, and let's start with this one. Top scorer. Who did I predict to be our top scorer this season in the league and in all competitions? I have gone for Bukayo Saka to finish as our Premier League top scorer. No surprises there. I think his numbers this season are going to rocket up even more. Like the last 2-3 seasons, he's been improving in terms of goals and assists. And I think once again he is going to blow like a lot of doubters away if there's still any doubters. I am going to go for Bukayo Saka to finish with 16 goals in the Premier League. I think once again our season, a lot of players are going to mix in terms of goal scoring. There's going to be a lot of this one scoring today, that one scoring today. But I think Saka, considering as well, I think he's still going to be on a few penalties as well. And he's the way he just dominates left backs and stuff, I think he's going to get 16 goals in the Premier. That is pretty spot on. That is very spot on. Saka was our top scorer, and he actually got 16 goals in the Premier League. So I'm very, very happy with that. I'm proud of that. So I know what to expect from Saka, and he got 16 goals. Probably not even as much as he could have, because there's a lot of chances that he missed throughout the season, especially that period between December and January. Could have easily had more, but once again, Saka is improving on his numbers. That was the Premier League. The top scorer prediction for me, Saka to be a top scorer and getting 16 goals. But what about all competitions? In terms of all competitions, I still feel like he's going to be our top scorer in all competitions. I'm backing him to get 20 goals in all competitions. That would be a great number. Come on, man. I got it spot on. Saka 16 goals in the league, 20 goals in all competitions. Those are exactly his numbers this season in both the league and in all competitions. Believe me, it's not going to be always good as this. There's some predictions in here that are really terrible. So I'm going to be as happy as I can whenever I can. So Saka, another incredible season. Really happy with that. I also predicted Odegaard to be a second top scorer, but he wasn't. Didn't really have like a goal scoring season like he had last season. And what about Kai Havertz? I want us to talk about Kai Havertz. What was my prediction for Kai Havertz? Because a lot of people are asking how many goals is Kai Havertz going to score this season and all that. So I literally included it in the prediction. The link will be in the description if you want to watch the entire video from August. This was my prediction for Havertz this season. I am going to predict Kai Havertz to get 15 goals. I think he will probably be one of those players who play all 4 competitions for us. Premier League comes on in the Carabao Cup or starts and gets subbed off, playing the FA Cup, playing the Champions League. Considering he's going to play a lot of games and he rarely gets injured and stuff, I'm going to go for him to get 15 goals. And I think at least 10 of them will be in the Premier League. Hopefully, I'd be very, very happy with that return. I mean, he got more than 10 goals in the Premier League, so very happy with that one. By the time he got to around November, December, it was looking very unlikely that he would get to those numbers. There was actually a time that he had like 3 or 4 goals. I was like, this is not great. But since January, he's probably been part of our top 2 players since January. He's been scoring a lot, got a brace against Chelsea, scored, I think, again the last game against Everton. He had some big goals against Tottenham as well. So really happy with his return. I didn't get to 15 goals, but in terms of goal contributions, he got to 20. I think he had 12 goals in all competitions and 11 in the league. So not too fast about that one, because some people predicted him to get 2 goals, 3 goals. So I was just a few goals off. So pretty happy with how I would say it. Let's go to the most assists. Now, this is where it starts getting a little bit shocking. Who did I predict to get the most assists for us this season? What about the most assists? Now, last season, obviously, Odegaard and Saka dominated this category and Trossard when he came on. Martinelli didn't really get a lot of assists, but I am going to go for Martinelli to get top assister this season. That was bad. That was bad. Now, I had, as I explained in that video, if you check it out, I had some reasons for predicting Martinelli to get the top assist this season. One, at the end of last campaign, he was getting a lot of assists. Remember, he assisted Jesus against Liverpool at Anfield. He assisted Odegaard against West Ham at home, those 2-2 games at the end of last season. And in pre-season, he was getting a couple of assists here and there. So I thought, listen, this season is going to, he's also on corners. I thought he was going to also be be on corners, but it was Trossard and then Rice for the rest of the season. And I also didn't anticipate Martinelli to pick up like 2-3 separate injuries this season. He picked up an injury against Everton, picked up an injury against Sheffield. I think he missed 6 weeks after Sheffield. I think he missed a couple of weeks after that Everton game and then returned for the Man City game. Didn't anticipate that. But in terms of most assists, I think I actually predicted like 15. That's crazy. I don't think he even got more than 3. I don't think he even got more than 3 assists this season. And the one that I remember, the first game of the season against Nottingham, he assisted Ketia's goal. So I was like, here we go. Martinelli is going to start assisting and he's going to get those numbers I predicted, but he was nowhere near that. It was the usual candidates for us, Saka, Odegaard, Rice, decent, chipped in the assist as well. Didn't really expect that one. Didn't expect Rice to be on corners. So yeah, that one did not work out. Martinelli did not have a great season this time around. Hopefully next one is back to his best. Who did I predict to be our best player this season? Now that hasn't been confirmed yet, but we now have an idea of who it could be. But who did I predict back in August? Best player. Who will be our best player this season? I'm going to back my guy, Martin Odegaard. Last season, I think it could have been anyone, man. I think it could have been Saka, it could have been Odegaard, it could have been Martinelli, Saliba. I think all of them are incredible. Now, it hasn't been confirmed yet. I would not be surprised if he won Player of the Season because he was nominated for Player of the Season in terms of Premier League generally. He's amongst the top 8 candidates alongside the likes of Van Dijk and Foden and all those guys. He might still win our best player this season. But personally, for me, if I was to make my own list, I think I'd have him maybe third or something. I think Rice was really good this season. I think Gabriel and Saliba are really, really good this season. But Odegaard is still phenomenal. The chances he creates, the goals he scores, he's always available as well. That's another thing I love about him, and you can tell his leadership. When he first was given the captaincy, you couldn't really tell. Not everyone was very sure about him, but since then he's been really good, and he might still win our best player. But personally, for me, I'd probably give it to Declan Rice, and I'd have maybe Gabriel or Saliba second. So Odegaard, though, he might still win the official Premier League Arsenal Player of the Season. Let's see if he gets it. Surprise player of the season. Who did I go for surprise player of the season? This was the worst prediction out of all of them. Surprise of the season, I'm going to go with Fabio Vieira. I couldn't even finish that clip. Fabio Vieira. That is who I predicted to be the surprise of the season. Now, again, he started the season very well. I remember his performance against Fulham. He came in, he assisted Nketiah in that game. He had a very good game against Everton as well. I think he started as our number 8 in that game. He was looking good. Out of the first 5 games, I think he also assisted Jesus' counter-attack goal against Man United in the 4th game of the season. So by the time he got to like the 5th game, he already had like 3 assists and he was looking good. And I was like, this is going to be his season. In preseason, he had a very good preseason as well. His goal against Barcelona, I think he scored the winning penalty in the Community Shield against Man City. So I had a few reasons to go with him as the surprise player of this season because a lot of people wanted him so. Now, I can argue, I know it right now, it sounds as a bad prediction, but I can argue that before, like, he started picking up the injuries and stuff, before he dropped down a bit, he was looking good in the first 5-6 games this season, but he dropped off. Now, we never know how good he would have been for the rest of the season. But yeah, as of now, it looks pretty bad because he hasn't even featured basically almost the entire season since the beginning part of the campaign. So, well, let me know what you make of that prediction. Was it too wild of a prediction to make? Those were the individual predictions. What about the team predictions? What did I predict in terms of how far you're going to get in the cup competitions, how many goals you're going to score, and all that? So let's start with this. Cup competitions. How far are we going to reach in all cup competitions? Carabao Cup, I've gone for it. We are going to finally win the Carabao Cup for the first time since the 90s. We still haven't won the Carabao Cup. We still haven't won it since the 90s. That's a competition that I know the Champions League is a competition that has always escaped us, but the Carabao Cup one, you'd have expected Arsenal to at least have won it a few times. But since we won it back in 1993, I think we won the FA Cup in the same season as well. We have not gotten. We've gotten a couple of times. We've gotten closer. Man City final, a Birmingham final, I think a Chelsea final. But that is a competition where we've never really looked like we were going to ever win it. But this season, I thought we were going to, because I thought, listen, we have a squad now. Imagine if we play Trossard in the Carabao Cup. We can now play Havertz or Jesus in the Carabao Cup. We now have Timber to play in the Carabao Cup. We could play Tomiyasu in the Carabao Cup, Kivio. We could play Jorginho Pat in the Carabao Cup. That was my thought at the beginning of the season. Like, you can rest the likes of Rice, Saka, Havertz, Odegaard, and still be able to play Trossard, Vieira, Jesus, Martinelli, Kivio, Timber in the Carabao Cup. But it didn't work out that way. We actually went with the likes of Nelson and Ketty in the game against Brentford. We won it, but the West Ham one, I think that's one of the worst performances this season against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. They absolutely demolished us. Like, we did not have a chance in that game. I think it was 3-1. And yeah, we didn't get anywhere close to winning the Carabao Cup. So that was a terrible prediction. FA Cup, I'm going to go for us to reach the quarterfinal. I think by then, if you're still competing for the league, I think it's going to be hard to like just go for all competitions, depending on injuries, if you can keep every single player fit. But I'm going to go realistic. I'm going to go for Arsenal to reach the FA Cup quarterfinal. That wasn't great as well. We got knocked out in the very first round. Now, it was Liverpool this season. It was Man City last season. We got knocked out by two pretty good teams in the FA Cup the last couple of seasons. We shouldn't have been knocked out, though. That's the game that got people talking about Arsenal potentially need a strike, and that was our last game before we went to Dubai. We missed so many chances, and then Liverpool punished us with the quality that they had. And we saw, like, literally a month later, we just were so comfortable against them and beat them comfortably at home. That is another game we should have beat them comfortably at home. We should have had 2 wins against Liverpool in the FA Cup and in the league this season. So we didn't get anywhere close to winning the FA Cup, though. I predicted the quarterfinal, but we didn't get anywhere close to that. What about my Champions League prediction? Champions League, I'm also going to go for Arsenal to reach the quarterfinals, not to win it. That's not bad. I predicted the quarterfinal. It was the quarterfinal that we reached. That's why I wasn't even really sad about not winning that game against Bayern Munich. We were close. We were close to winning the game. Or not like we didn't lose comfortably. It was only 2-1. So I can live with that. We lost 2-1 to Bayern Munich. I predicted us to get to the quarterfinal. I didn't expect us to reach the semi-final or final. Even if we reached the semi-final, they've had a tough task against Real Madrid, experienced teams and all that. So yeah, quarterfinal, I got that spot on. Let's hope next season you can go a step further or 2 steps further. Next season, the Champions League changes in terms of format. Premier League prediction. I am going to go for Arsenal to finish first in the Premier League table. Not with 95 points or 96 points. I think this season, like Man City won it with like 88, 89 there. I think it's going to be enough once again. We actually ended up getting that 89, but it wasn't enough. Man City got 91 points. And now we know 89 and 90 points is not enough. You're going to need like 94 points to win it comfortably. You're going to need like something crazy like that. And I thought really it was going to be I think we were the best team this season. We were so close, but that shows you how good Man City are, because they still scored more goals than us this season. They had a similar goal difference as us, and it was probably our best season in a while. And they were saying it was their worst season in a while. So that shows you how good they are. They still managed to match most of our numbers, and they still scored 4 5s throughout the season. So this is where it actually gets worse. That's not even the worst thing. That's not a bad prediction. He still got second, but in terms of me being convinced that City probably won't do it, also because Man City, I don't think they're going to win 4 times in a row. They could, obviously, and I am so confident in terms of saying if Man City don't finish first, it's going to be Arsenal. Like, only Man City can finish above Arsenal this, and that's how confident I am. Well, they ended up winning the 4th one. They actually won the 4th one, if you haven't noticed yet. So congratulations to them, I guess. But I'm pretty happy with the latter part of that prediction, because even when Liverpool were first, we were second and Man City third. I was still looking at Man City. I was never, ever worried about Liverpool or Tottenham being top of the table. And clearly, as you said in that prediction, I'm worried about Man City. They're the only team that can finish above us. And that's the same thing I'm going to say about next season. If we finish above Man City, we win the league. I don't think there's anyone else who's going to topple us and all out of nowhere Liverpool or Chelsea win the league and then you finish second and Man City finish third. No. If we beat Man City, if we finish ahead of Man City, we win the league. It's as simple as that, and that's the same prediction for me next season as well. How many goals did I predict Arsenal to score in total in the Premier League this season as a team? How many goals are Arsenal going to score in the Premier League this season? Last season we got 88 goals. We scored 4 against Brighton, 4 against Aston Villa, put 5 past the likes of Nottingham and Wolves. I mean, I feel like Havertz is going to bring more goals to the team. I think Trossard, starting from the start of the season, is going to bring more goals to the team. And just wait for my bold prediction at the end. I feel like you're going to score a bunch of goals. I think we're going to break our record once again. I don't think we're going to get to 100 goals, but I'm going to predict Arsenal to improve by 2 goals from last season. We are going to get 90 goals. Oh no, I was 1 goal away. We actually got 91. They actually went above what I expected because as I say that we are going to break our record. Our record was 88. We now got 91. I predicted 90. I was only one goal away, but I did predict us to beat some teams 5-0, 6-0. I didn't expect them to be as many as that, especially away from home. But we got past the 90-point mark, and that is with a lot of chances missed and all that. We could easily have gotten to 100 goals. Like we can very easily, if we can improve again from this the next season, from what we've done this and last season, we can easily get to 100 goals because Martinelli did not have a great season. Jesus did not have a great season. There was a period where Saka and Martinelli and Odegaard were all missing chances, Havertz as well. If we can take our chances, some games we ended up winning 2-1, like a Brighton Wolves could easily have gone 4 goals with those ones. Chelsea 5-0 could easily have been 8 or 9. Like if we don't miss a lot of chances every game, we'd have easily had 100 goals. But I was only 1 goal away from that one, so I'm pretty happy with that prediction. Clean sheets. How many clean sheets did I predict? Clean sheets. Clean sheets is always difficult. I feel like we're going to concede a few goals when you don't expect. I was very impressed with the defense the other day with Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and also Ben White. Ramsdale, Raya, all of them very good goalkeepers. It's going to be a tough one. It's a tough one to predict clean sheets. I don't think maybe Ramsdale will not be top. I think in terms of rotation with Ray and Ramsdale, I don't think any of them will get the Golden Glove. Hopefully they do. But I'm going to go for Arsenal to get 15 clean sheets. 15 clean sheets. I went with 15. Now again, they went above what I was expecting. Once again, they overdid what I was expecting. We got 18 clean sheets this season, which is great. I didn't expect Raya or Ramsdale to get the Golden Glove because I thought they would rotate in terms of timing. I thought maybe we'd see Raya playing for 5 games, or sometimes Ramsdale playing in the Champions League, sometimes in the league. I thought we'd rotate like the way Brighton do, but Raya ended up playing and he picked up the Golden Glove. Well done to him. And our defense was very solid this season. Now we got 18 clean sheets this season, but I'm not even exaggerating when I say that could have been 25. Because if you look at a game like Nottingham Forest home and away, we considered 2 silly goals late on, a counter-attack at the Emirates and the one that we gave them at their place to make it 2-1. Those could have been 2 extra clean sheets. Look at the Wolves game. We gave away the ball in the 90th minute and we gave Wolves a goal. That could have been already 21 clean sheets. There's some games you look at and you're like, yeah, this game we should never have conceded. Even Burnley, I think at home we considered that should never have been a goal for Burnley as well. Some games we were close to clean sheets. You can argue Newcastle should not have had the goal stand. So we could easily pick up 20 plus clean sheets. That's why I'm very confident for next season as well, because I'm looking at these numbers and these predictions and all that, and I'm like, yeah, they actually outdid what I was expecting, and I still feel like we can go even further because there's some mistakes we did here and there, and we can actually improve on. Red cards. How many red cards did I predict? Red cards. How many red cards are Arsenal going to pick up in all competitions this season? Last one we didn't pick up any. It was still surprising. But this season, I feel like, there's going to be some games that are really high tempo, some games in the Champions League that you're just going to have to fight and fight and fight. And a lot of rule changes this season. If you just kick the ball or throw your hands to the referee, you're going to pick up a yellow card. Someone is going to lose concentration somewhere. Hopefully don't pick up the silly red cards. Those red cards where it's silly and you're like, why did you do that? If it's like a red card where you're like, you know what, he had to do that, you're going to win this game because of that foul, that is fine. So I'm going to go for Arsenal to get 2 red cards next season. 2 red cards. That's what we got. It's kind of a bold prediction because last season we didn't pick up any red cards, but I did not expect us to have another flawless season in terms of not picking up red cards. There was an early one for Tomiyasu against Crystal Palace, I think, in the second game, and then Fabio Vieira picked one up against, was it Wolves or someone, around November, December. I think those are the only 2 red cards we picked up. In terms of discipline, we've been very good as well the last 2 seasons. That's something that has been underrated. A lot of people have not been talking about it. Discipline, yellow cards, red cards, we don't really pick up too many of them. So that's pretty great. So how do you think I did in terms of prediction? There was a couple of shocking ones there, like Fabio Vieira to be surprised with the season, but I had an explanation for that. I think he got injured and he said the season well. Predicting us to win the Carabao Cup, that was a terrible prediction. Thinking Man City would not win 4 in a row, terrible prediction. In terms of how many goals they're going to score this, and that was a really good prediction. I missed out by 1. Havertz prediction, I'm very happy with it. Saka to be a top scorer, got the goal spotted as well, happy with that. Best player, we still have to wait and see. Martinelli assist, that was another terrible prediction, but let me know how you did in terms of your predictions and let me know how I did. We are going going to also do a season player ratings, and obviously the transfer videos will be coming up as well. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this one and seeing how bad or good I am in predictions. Thank you for watching, and catch up with you on the next one.